it's party time, Mom. Welcome to another episode of the Chad Prather Show, getting off the rails on a Thursday, heading into the weekend full tilt, full blown, wide open. Here from the Mothership Studio 22, flying into the nether regions of all things. I'm just ashamed to be white. The Puppet Master Mark is at the helms. He's at the helm with his queen, Candace. See, you guys aren't interracial enough because Mark isn't white enough. That's the issue.
He's pretty white.
Pretty white. Sarah Gonzalez, the host of the News and Why It Matters, and on YouTube, Sarah Gonzalez Unfiltered, my favorite POC. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
It's technically your show, too.
I mean, come on.
Let's just make it what it is.
Come on.
I am so free after Independence Day weekend this past week. I'm still in an independence hangover.
Yeah, it's hard to get over that. I mean, if you're conservative.
I independence so hard.
Yeah, I think leftists tend to do the opposite.
Yeah.
They can't stand freedom.
A lot of self-loathing.
Yeah. Freedom is not something good to them. But yeah, no, it was a good weekend. It was nice to be reminded that there are still some people who like to celebrate freedom.
Yeah. I loved it because I was at the lake hanging out and just fireworks going on.
Yeah, we were too.
And just all the smoke was just pouring in, and I was like, it smells like freedom.
Yeah, it really did. Although I will say, at the lake with fireworks, 4th of July, don't want to be a party pooper or a Debbie Downer. Not a great time when you have a 9-month-old that won't sleep. It's just like fireworks and surround sound everywhere you turn. So,
Exactly.
But you know what? Small price to pay for freedom.
I noticed, though, that there were a lot of fireworks that don't pop. Like, apparently they're making some that just make the bright colors.
Really?
But they don't make the big popping noise.
Oh, I'm down with that.
Yeah.
Well, sort of, maybe.
They're just kind of like my sex life, just fizzle. Just
Yeah.
real flamboyant, real colorful, and then there's nothing at the end.
Yeah, there's just nothing. No finish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to have fun on today's show. Imagine me and you, I do.
I missed you.
I miss you too. Got a message from someone the other day that said, so are you and Sarah together now? Are y'all? I'm like, well, her husband might have a big problem with that, especially since he's right down the hall.
He is.
Yeah, he's right over there.
What he doesn't know won't hurt him.
No, he doesn't know.
Just kidding.
I've been telling everybody all week long, my freedom is so free that I'm not wearing socks. I haven't worn underwear in 3 months.
Wow, that is quite free.
Independent.
Breezy.
I am independent. I did a post the other day on social media. I want to read it to everybody. I took a screenshot of it. It's fantastic. I said, Independence Day means we are free to pursue the American dream. I'm chasing it with all my heart. By God's grace and America's opportunity, I'm a successful entrepreneur and entertainer. I've traveled all over the world, worked in numerous third world countries. I have a fun apparel business, own bucking bulls, have ownership in a great whiskey company. I get to speak my mind as a social media influencer and nightly on my own television show and podcast. I've been successful in the nonprofit sector and in corporate America. I have a best-selling book coming out in a few months.
Woo, woo.
I'm surrounded by the best people, family, and friends. I'm even able to shake things up on a political campaign. No other country offers that type of diverse freedom of opportunity. I'm incredibly thankful to be an American. God bless the USA.
It's so true.
Do you know what people had the biggest problem with in that thing?
Oh, God, what?
How do you know you got a best-selling book if it hasn't come out yet?
Stop.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
People were like, do you have a crystal ball? And my comedian friend Susan Jones says, yeah, 2 big ones. And I'm like, pre-sales, people.
Right.
Somebody commented on that the other day
pre-sales.
and said, I have learned more about pre-sales in the world of book selling than I've ever wanted to know.
That's really funny.
Yeah. Pre-sales do determine a lot.
But can we people will find
And I'm optimistic.
anything to pick on
Yeah.
when you're a social media influencer, when you have a platform. It's they just find anything.
Yeah.
It's like the people who tell me my teeth are too white. They're like, I like your show, but your teeth are too white. I'm like,
I did a show.
Really?
I did a show this past weekend. And I was, we were there before the show. There was a music group that was playing before our show. And so they had an adjacent bar, and I went over there. And there were several people who came, and they were wearing my gear, wearing my shirt for governor stuff and all that. And so I was standing there at the bar, and as they would come up, I'd buy them a drink. And I just kept my tab open. I said, nope, it's on me, it's on me, it's on me. And people were coming, are you sure? I'm going to buy something for my husband, too. And I'm like, yeah, look, you buy my shirts, I'm going to buy you a drink.
Are you talking about the shirts that you can find at prather2022.com?
No, at watchchad.com.
Oh, watchchad.com, sorry.
And so, where all the fun stuff is. And so this one lady walks up, she's next in line, and I said, I'd be happy to buy you a drink. She goes, why are your teeth that white? First thing.
You're like,
I brush.
I'm sorry, I have good dental hygiene.
She's like, do you bleach them? And I'm like, maybe once every 6 months I throw on a dental strip or something that.
Yeah.
But golly,
it is weird. They'll just find anything to just
like hi, how are you? Why are your teeth so white? Do you bleach them? Social media has just knocked down common courtesy.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. We got some stuff to get into. Pre-sales of books. I've warned you about home title theft, where cyber thieves remove you from your home's title and become the owner. I said, you better get home title lock because it's coming. Well, you've heard me talk about it. Facebook, that big old breach that happened. 500 million Facebook accounts exposed, cyber thieves. And guess what? Everything thieves need to take over as the new owner of your home was leaked. Name, address, personal information, every bit of it is out there for the public to consume. The thief forges your signature on a quitclaim deed stating you sold your home to him, going to leave you in debt, or even worse, have you evicted from your own home. Do what I did. Protect your home's title with Home Title Lock. Go to HometitleLock.com. Register your address to see if you're already a victim. Then you can sign up for 30 free days of protection during this high-risk breach. Again, go to HometitleLock.com. Use promo code RADIO. That's HometitleLock.com, promo code RADIO. Go there today. We'll be right back. So,
yes,
we send out emails every day, Prather2022.com. That's our campaign deal. If you sign up with your email address, we'll send you an email every single day. And that's not just, hey, donate. It's either a personal statement from me about issues that are going on in Texas, or we talk about things you need to know about what's going on in Texas. And I always encourage people, I've learned so much through this process, Sarah.
I can imagine. I've learned so much through you going through this process.
I am just losing my mind in some ways. Yeah. I'm having a blast. Don't get me wrong. The support has been phenomenal from people that are out there. The naysayers, I get that. That's part and parcel of the deal. But the support has been phenomenal. And of course, with the advent of Colonel Allen West jumping into the race, and of course, Don Huffines has been in this thing. And I know people are like, oh, come on, let's talk about all this other stuff. I'll talk about what I want to talk about. This is the Chad Prather Show. All right? You just chill.
Maybe you should get your own television show.
Put your boobies on ice, okay? Just put your boobies on ice. And we'll talk about what we want to talk about. It's Thursday Free For All. But I just want to say the support has been fantastic. And even the people who say, if I were in Texas, I'd vote for it.
Yeah.
And so get a lot of press from people who go, well, he's getting a lot of support from people that ain't even from the state. And I'm like, okay. But guess what? You can still donate.
Yes.
You can still give $1.
You can still, please donate. Yeah. And also make sure to tell your friends and family who do live in Texas.
That's right. They have television, they have telethons, they have telephone, we have teleperson. we go the cheapest route. But isn't it amazing that for literally $0, comparatively speaking, compared to the millions that other candidates have, i.e. Greg Abbott, who has an endless war chest. I mean, it's a bottomless pit.
Yeah.
How we're mentioned. Like over the weekend, this past week, we were mentioned when Allen West came out. They mentioned us in every television across the state, every television newscast that announced him, of course, talked about us. And I'm like, we've done it just the power of support. People telling other people.
Yeah, that's the power of grassroots.
That's
when you
the way
truly are grassroots. It is the way it ought to be, but it's not the way it's set up.
Yeah.
It's not the way that it's set up. And when you go through this process, you realize why not many grassroots people go through this process and finish, because you're set up with everything against you as far as the establishment, and they've got all the money, and they've got all these stupid rules that you have to learn and follow, and
so many rules.
I mean, they do it on purpose.
And we have all these people who say you just need to get out of it. You're going to either split the vote. Okay.
Please learn how primaries work.
Or you don't have a chance, and it's like no. Even if I don't have a chance, we still draw the vote away from Abbott.
Right.
And that's, we give him get an opportunity for a runoff.
But I wouldn't say that you don't have a chance.
Well, the polls actually show pretty good, depending on where you're looking. Now, you still have the media polls that are out there that the only people they include, of course, are Greg Abbott
and Matthew
McConaughey. Who's like, they're just trying.
Has not announced. Could I just remind people of that?
They're just
not
going for the
running.
sensationalism of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So TexasScorecard.com. That's that. I always enjoy them.
Yeah, that's a good.
Michael Quinn
outlet.
Sullivan's group over the Texas Scorecard is real good about showing people what's really going on in the state. And they did an article today, Rivals Challenge Abbott on Illegal Immigration. And, the byline says challengers of Governor Greg Abbott say his actions on the border are too little too late. And, of course, they got a quote from Alan West, who tends to be the perennial favorite amongst those who follow name recognition. And, of course, Don Huffines. But, alas, Prather expressed pleasure that Abbott was pivoting towards border security, but he called for more action. Quote, after our campaign has brought this and other important issues for all Texans to the forefront.
Yep.
We are very happy that the governor is now finally paying attention to this important issue. We must use every tool at our disposal to stop illegal immigration, including getting the federal government to fulfill its constitutional duty of securing our border. As a state, we must put a clear end to sanctuary cities, as well as eliminate any and all incentive for illegals to enter the great state of Texas, including free education and health care. Boom.
Greg, if we'd have known that all it would have taken was Chad announcing his candidacy for you to start doing things you should have done a long time ago, we would have announced way sooner.
Way sooner. I'm just a punk-ass white boy out there just making his way in the world today. Takes everything you got. And look at that. Now we got Trump down on the border. Mm-hmm. And people are like, we don't need any more comedians in politics. What's your plan for Texas? Well, I'll tell you what my vision for Texas is. And all this week, Sarah, we've been playing some of my truck clips. And I want to share one that I shared last week. Mark, do you have that queued up? Let's play it. Hey guys, Chad Prather, another Texas from the truck, because people keep asking me what I plan to do if elected governor. Well, there's a lot of things actually, and here's just a few things that matter to me. First of all, I want to make sure that Texas freedoms are always the top priority. I will fight every moment of every day to guarantee that lives and livelihoods will not be lost because of government interference or involvement. Let's talk about the budget. It's increased dramatically under Greg Abbott. We need to reverse the course. I believe less government is better government. I will not only stop the exorbitant spending, but will also clean house from the top down. It is time, way past time, to pull the plug on politicians and unelected bureaucrats that exist to keep you under their tyrannical thumbs. The fact of the matter is simple. The Texas state budget has increased by $39 billion under Greg Abbott, and we dare call him a conservative that's supposedly doing a good job. That's not conservative, folks. Listen, Texas ranks 34th in education, 31st in healthcare, 37th in crime and corrections, and 39th in opportunity. Yet we say we're great. We're being out-Texased by other states, folks. Texas needs a leader and not a follower that's blown around by the winds of popular political opinion. We must regain a reputation of greatness. Everyone knows right now that the state of Florida is far surpassing the rest because of a decisive and unapologetic governor. I promise you, I will lead. My priorities will be made according to the will of the people. The governor works for every citizen of Texas, and I promise you, I will never forget that. I will put competent task forces of our best Texas minds in place immediately to address the critical issues of the border, electric power, water supply, and property taxes. We will find solutions, and we will put Texas on a better course. These 4 issues are important to every single citizen in Texas, and if not addressed, will have a severe impact on all our lives as well as Texas prosperity. When it comes to the border, I will work to complete a border wall while equipping law enforcement to detect, deter, detain, deport, and defend. And also, we will hold the federal government accountable to what they do that affects our state. I'll serve the state of Texas with common sense. I bet I could think of several things off the top of my head. For instance, we will not allow biological males to compete against females. We'll not pander to the ideals of radicalized groups. We'll not force vaccines or require vaccine passports. We will protect our children from the confusion-driven demand of gender modification. We'll not allow critical race theory to have any place in our school systems. We'll fight for school choice. We will allow teachers to be educators rather than standardized test trainers. We will fight for medical freedom and parental rights. We will defund cities that defund the police. We will not spend taxpayer dollars on contact tracing. We will fight for your rights as humans, regardless of race, gender, or persuasion, while not pandering to the ideologies that want to politicize them.
We will no longer subsidize ideologically driven idiocy. We will fight for the rights of the unborn, and we will assert that life begins at conception. We will defend your First Amendment rights and protect you from big media, big tech. Gun rights are your rights and shall not be infringed means exactly that. We will improve the state's infrastructure. We'll remember our roots of agriculture, farming, and ranching. We'll improve livestock disease management practices, and at the same time provide greater livestock disaster assistance and critical safety nets for producers. Folks, farming and ranching have always been a major part of our heritage, and by God, they're going to be a major part of our future. We will fight to protect the oil and gas industry in Texas. We will work to reestablish coal as a reliable producer of Texas energy. And we will explore the expanded use of nuclear power and try to find a cost-effective way to implement it. We will fight for election integrity and protect the election process. And by God, you better not even think about touching the Alamo or any other honored historic monument. There's a lot more I can say, but I want you to check me out. Prather2022.com. Please donate. Join the fight for freedom and for Texas greatness. I love y'all. God bless you, and God bless the great state of Texas.
Sign me up.
Get
me to the voting booth
It
right
always
now.
freaks me out when I watch myself do those videos. When I watch it back, it's like my face is just right there in that screen. And I always realize I know how much I spit when I talk that fast. And I do. I mean, I just like, oh, and like sometimes I'm like, oh, it's just going to hit the screen or hit the camera or something, just going to splotch the whole thing.
You didn't see any spit there.
No, you don't see it. Doesn't show up in the light. That's me at the parking lot right there, just hanging out.
I'm just off the top of your head.
I know a lot of things.
No, I mean, one might say that you are actually passionate about the things that you're discussing, not that you are power hungry or just in it for
I'm not at all. And I've had people,
fame.
and it's not an ego trip. I have people all the time who's like, well, you rattle off these things. How do you? And I'm like, because I live them.
Yes.
I know them.
Yes.
I'm listening and I'm paying attention to it.
Yep.
These are the things. I can list off all the things, and I do on a regular basis of the things Greg Abbott's done wrong. But what's funny is people say, we don't want you to tell us what Greg Abbott's done wrong. But then they turn around and say, Greg Abbott's done a great job. What's wrong with Greg Abbott? You tell them, they're like, we don't want you to tell us what Greg Abbott's done wrong. Why are you mudslinging? Tell us what your plan is. And you tell them, well, that's not a plan. That's a vision. That's not. Well, I mean, the issue is if you want more governmental stuff involved in your life, we're going to have to plan a lot of that strategy out.
Yeah, I mean,
to the nuanced degree.
Well, it is sad when, especially if there are native Texans who say something like that. Well, Greg Abbott hasn't done anything wrong. It's like, are you really not paying attention that much?
They're really not.
They're really pre-programmed. They've been pre-programmed to just
and that's why,
be totally fine with all this.
We've talked about this over and over. People love the status quo.
Yeah.
And if you polled it right now, Greg Abbott would probably win the poll amongst the four of us by 75%.
Well, he took all your freedoms away, but he gave them back.
Yeah. He was one of the quickest ones to get rid of the mandates.
That he imposed on us.
Did he? But did he? He also passed an executive order that said that he could reinstate those at any time he wanted to as well. It gives the governor more power.
Yes, King Abbott.
Yeah. So he still has that right to do it at any time if he sees an opportunity. It's like I said in a video I showed you yesterday, the Constitution wasn't written for your safety. It was written to keep you free.
Yes. And voting for him would basically be telling all of the politicians that you are totally fine with them doing all of these things for your own good.
And I just say this, we're having fun with it, folks.
Yeah.
People are like, all you're doing is just campaigning on your show. No. We're just having fun with it. But I do like that, don't make me repeat myself, history quote
I
right
do
there.
too.
I love that shirt that's on that thing.
It's great.
You can get it at watchchad.com.
I mean, it's very necessary for what you were saying. It was a perfect shirt for the conversation.
Yeah. People are like, he doesn't look very gubernatorial. He doesn't look very governor. He wears T-shirts and a hat. And okay.
You know what can I just really quickly, I'm sure you need to move on, but what gets me is that so many of these people are Trump voters. And I'm like, what the hell did they say about Trump all the time? He's not presidential material. I was even guilty of it. I don't know if the man can run for president. He doesn't have any political experience. He doesn't have any, he knows nothing about it. And then he ended up being one of the greatest presidents of our lifetime. Right. So maybe, just maybe, that's not an acceptable excuse anymore.
Do you have that full screen I sent over to you guys real quick? Can you pop it up there? This was one of the networks right here. They ran a news story. Who would you vote for in the Texas governor race? They got Greg Abbott, they got Lieutenant Colonel Alan West, and they got former Senator Don Huffines. I'm not even up there.
Well,
WTF, man.
Ridiculous. I think most people, and this isn't a knock on Huffines, but I think most people would say who. Like I'm not sure that they would know who Huffines was.
I hope they learn though. I really do, because I want to have it out. I mean, whether it's whoever it is. I mean, I hope somebody comes riding in on a white horse and just makes a difference. Crazy.
Well, I'm just saying I would like for the white horse rider to be in a cowboy hat and maybe some tattoos.
They are pushing that cowboy hat thing hard. Every candidate, man.
I mean, we've got the...
We'll know we're making influence when Greg Abbott shows up with his cowboy hat on. He starts campaigning with the cowboy hat on, then we'll know. Having fun, folks. Hey, Northwest Retention Systems. I love these guys. My buddy Tim over there, he's already created America's premier holster and everyday gear manufacturing. They're no compromise, top shelf. Every company says that, but these guys prove it. Gear, product innovation, it's absolutely their obsession. Custom shop providing holsters and systems for hundreds of firearms. Proud to be all-American, manufacturing their products in the United States and to be employing Americans. They are a personal company. They bring the very best to their customers. They go above and beyond to improve their communities as far as their products go. You're not going to be disappointed. I love it. I carry it. I'm wearing an NW retention belt right now. Got great outdoor gear. They got their Scout chest holster. If you want, their concealed carry lines are incredible. Quality, performance, always present and always will be. Check out their website to see all they have. They'll make it just for you. Premium quality and satisfaction guaranteed. Offer a lifetime warranty. Got you covered with holsters done right. I want you to visit nwretention.com. nwretention.com. Enter promo code WATCHCHAD to save 10%. Check them out. Cool gear. nwretention.com. We'll be right back. Boy. Twitter's a dumpster fire.
Always.
Anyway, I still laughing. Wish I could show it to you. Hey, it's crazy around the world, y'all. America's the best place. I don't know if you know this or not. Before we get in that, is your new line out? Is your coming out?
I've announced.
Sarah?
I've announced.
Yeah.
But we are going to do a pre-launch. Our launch is going to be slated for Labor Day, but we're going to do a pre-launch.
And give me the name of it again?
It's called American Beauty.
Yeah.
So everyone can go to AmericanBeautyBySarah.com and sign up so that they can be a part of the pre-launch.
Get on it.
For those of you who don't know, I'm launching a cosmetics brand because you know what? I just got sick and tired of giving my money to a bunch of companies who basically want to fight against my existence.
There you go.
So I said, screw it. I'm going to create my own line.
I like that. Capitalism at its finest.
Yeah. There you go.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
I may get some of that makeup myself.
Yeah, well, you work in television.
I work in television. I'll make sure that American Beauty by Sarah is the only thing at Blaze Studios that's in the Chad jar.
There you go.
Yeah, my beard stippling. Y'all need beard stippling.
See, I'm going to need to focus now on male stuff just to make sure you're set.
I didn't know what beard stippling was, but apparently it gets my gray. It touches up my gray.
Which I would advise, men don't touch up all your gray.
I have to touch it up because I get the one black patch, then I look like I just got a dirty spot.
I mean, touch it up, but don't take all of it out. It makes men distinguished.
If this right here would quit just turning black all by itself, I'd let the whole thing go gray.
Yeah.
But whatever. I'm the best looking candidate.
By far.
I'm the best looking candidate. Take that, West. The best looking candidate. There was a woman in Australia talking about American greatness. Everybody keeps saying, well, you don't understand that Australia is great too. They've been having a rodent problem. They've been having a plague, actually. And there was a farmer's wife. I could assume that she's a farmer, too. She woke up and was hospitalized because a mouse was eating her eyeball. How deep you got to be asleep?
Are you? No.
Yeah. A farmer... In another incident, a farmer felt a mouse scurry across his face as he slept. I felt a tickly, furry sensation that crawled from behind my ear across my cheek. That's when we burned the house down. Made my skin crawl, hair stood up. I jumped out of bed. 35-year-old farming consultant added, for the rest of the night, I didn't sleep a wink till I caught the mouse in a trap under the bed.
And can I just, I used to own rats as pets.
Yeah,
so
the rats are smart.
I love rats. They're great. They're great pets.
Rats are
They're
smart.
very
Like,
smart and they're
I've
social.
actually caught rats.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like,
I mean, I don't know where.
I've domesticated some wild rats.
Yeah, I don't know
over
that
the
I would
years.
advise that.
Yeah.
But mice eating your eyeballs.
Yeah.
What is going on, Australia?
How asleep do you have to be?
Yeah, you got to wonder.
Yeah, so apparently God thoughts and prayers with those in Australia.
That's not the only thing. Australia has the wildest animals.
Yeah.
Just everything. All the animals in Australia. People are like, I want to visit Australia. I'm like, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
I don't need to see the spiders they have there. I don't need to see. Isn't that the place with the jellyfish that like you can die if they sting you once?
Yeah, right.
Like they just have so many crazy things that would kill you. No thanks.
Yeah, right. They even had to evacuate a prison. There were so many mice. They were under mouse arrest.
But
Oh my! Hey, you need to make sure get ahead of this one with your beauty line. What you need to know about the fight against hair discrimination. That's a real thing that's going on.
Great. Can't wait.
One teenager in New Jersey, 18 years old. He's given two choices: either cut his locks or forfeit his high school wrestling match. So, yeah.
Hair discrimination because he couldn't wrestle with long hair.
I guess so. Yeah. It has real economic and social impacts. It limits job and educational opportunities, forces people to drop tons of money to conform to white beauty standards, and cements negative stereotypes around black hair. Yeah. Black women are 1.5 times more likely to be sent home from work because of their hair. Who's polling this?
Sent from home because of their hair? Ooh, who is polling this? I have never known anyone to get sent home from work because of their hair.
Yeah, in 2010, a lady had a job offer in Alabama rescinded because her hair went against the grooming policy of the HR manager.
I mean, look, when you, especially in retail, if someone is going to be the face of your store or company or brand, you want them to look, there's a certain,
I mean, they get on to me for wearing T-shirts and running for governor,
Okay.
I could dress it up when I need to, fool.
But I mean, let's say that there's a white person who just never washed their hair and had oily, nasty, greasy hair and didn't brush it. Or, I mean, I'm sure that they would have the same issue.
Yeah, wash your nasty ass.
Please.
Disney World drops ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls from their recorded greeting as the park pushes a place where everyone is welcome.
I'm going to have a hard time going back to that park.
I am too.
I
was planning,
really sucks.
I've got kids that are graduating college this year. I've got one that's going to graduate high school this year. We talked about celebrating with a big trip to Disney.
Yeah.
Because when they were little, we'd go to Disney World, right? And I'm like,
I know. I know. We just went a couple years ago, and I'm like, I don't know when the next time that I'm going to feel comfortable going again is.
Yeah, we just really wanted to have a big family, congratulations celebratory thing, and
it's hard. It's hard because it's hard to give your money to them, but at the same time, you don't want to deprive your child of that sort of rite of passage.
So my one of my sons, 14 years old, he's been ranked nationally the last 4 years. He was supposed to compete this next week down in Orlando at Disney for the beta competition again in mathematics, and they canceled it. Got to do the competition online. Just a bunch of BS, man.
What?
Yeah. He had to do it last year, too.
Last year I understand, but in 2021, in the summer of 2021, they've still canceled it because of COVID.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And it's very different having to compete online with a computer versus being on site and do this kind of thing. So, anyway. French food is now racist. I don't know if you know that or not.
I did. I heard that.
Food whiteness, food privileges. We've talked about this before. You can't have a white person cooking Chinese food and so on and so forth. Mm-hmm. That actually sounds like what I'm going to have for dinner. I think Chinese food. Maybe some sushi.
That sounds great.
Doesn't it?
Really
I'm
good.
hungry.
I'll appropriate some culture for that.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go have sushi tonight. Coming for you, Sushi Axiom. Get ready, Fort Worth. Hey, next week I'm going to be down at the border for a couple days. Going to be right there at Del Rio. If there's any family you need me to say hello to. If you need to send me down with any gift boxes, or
they may not have made it over yet, so I don't know.
I'll pass it through the fence.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you.
I can't believe you say things like that. Believe it.
Listen, if I'm not offended, you don't need to be offended on my behalf.
Yeah.
So.
Elementary school promotes transgender top surgery book for Pride Month, and complaints come rolling in. They had to.
No kidding.
Felix Ever After. I guess that was anyway. Yeah. The world we live in, girl.
Going to hell in a handbasket, Chad.
I know. And Ted Cruz is evil.
Always. What did he do this time?
No, I don't know. What did he do? What was that deal? Ted Cruz took aim at Cori Bush. That on July 4th, Cori Bush tweeted that the July 4th only celebrates white freedom. So anyway.
Right. Cori Bush, congresswoman, a person of color who is also a congresswoman who has risen to the level that she's risen. Yes, definitely. America is so racist that they elevated her to that.
Extremely. But so woke.
Right.
So woke.
So woke.
Don't forget, folks, my best-selling book comes out September 7th. Am I Crazy? An unapologetic patriot takes on the insanity of today's woke world. We're going to deal with the woketopia. And yes, it's a bestseller. You can get it wherever books are offered. Just pre-order it. Go find it. Hey, with major corporations going woke and canceling free speech, we need to partner with companies deserving of our trust. Do you know that many wireless companies support left-wing causes, causes that threaten our freedoms and beliefs? Patriot Mobile is different. Patriot Mobile is America's only Christian conservative wireless company and donates a portion of every dollar to organizations that fight for causes you and I care about. Right now, they have two great offers to choose from. Either get 50% off your first 2 months or $100 off any phone. Both come with a free Premier activation. Go to patriotmobile.com/Chad for details. Patriot Mobile has the broadest nationwide coverage. It uses the same towers as the major providers, so you get a great service for less money. Go to patriotmobile.com/Chad, or you can call their top-rated U.S.-based team at 972-PATRIOT, 972-PATRIOT. Veterans and first responders save even more. Switch to Patriot Mobile. Why don't you want to save money, people? It's a company you can trust to support your values. patriotmobile.com/Chad. That's patriotmobile.com/Chad or 972-PATRIOT. Be right back. Boy, we were talking about it at the break. 65-year-old man gets a nasty surprise when he sits down on his toilet, finds out the hard way there's a 5-foot-long snake inside the bowl.
This is legitimately one of my greatest fears in life. Legitimately one of my greatest fears. And I'm always told that it is an irrational fear.
Nope.
No, it's not, because it happened to this man.
It gets worse.
What?
The albino python bit an Austrian man's genitals as the man sat down to use the toilet Monday morning.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I'm always scared that there's going to be a snake in the toilet and it's going to bite my butt. And whenever I go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, I have to turn on the light just real quick.
Yeah.
Because I don't want my eyes to adjust, but I got to turn it on real quick so I can see inside the toilet bowl.
I have a video I wish I could show everybody. I'll show you at our next break. Anyway, I'll show it to you.
Oh, God. What are you showing me?
Anyway, he felt what he described as a tweak in the area of his genitals. Actually, I've probably already sent you this video. Looked in the bowl, 5-foot-long albino python. Somebody flushed their pet, probably. It belonged to the man's 24-year-old neighbor, who was a reptile enthusiast, whose apartment holds 10 other snakes and more. That's right there when you just burn down the neighbor's house.
Oh, my gosh. That neighbor should be in jail or something.
Hey, man, in April, a Malaysian man was taken to a local hospital after a 10-foot snake was believed to have bitten the man on his backside as he sat down on a toilet.
This happens. This is not an irrational fear. Yeah. Oh, my God.
Maybe not so much in America, but yeah.
Well, Until it does.
Until it does. There was a Thai man in 2020, 4-foot snake bit his genitals as he sat on the toilet. According to TMZ, 18-year-old snake bite victim said he sat down on the toilet only to feel sudden tremendous pain as python bit his genital area.
Yeah, I bet he did.
Yeah.
Bet he did.
So when the python let go, blood sprayed everywhere. His mom tried to calm him until, how'd you get the Franks over the beans? How'd you get the beans over top of the Franks?
Okay, keep reading though.
I did. Yeah.
He needed, three stitches.
3 stitches on the tip of his. Dear God, you get the picture. Oh, no. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Remember
call
that scene
irrational.
in There's Something About Mary where he zips up? That's where that would happen right there. How'd you get the beans on top of the Frank? Oh, my gosh. We got a bleeder.
That's horrifying. I can picture something like that happening in like Florida or somewhere where they're
telling you.
Alligators
I've
and
told
people's
you.
snakes.
I haven't worn underwear in 3 months. This
you gotta protect your.
I'm telling you,
protect your bits,
giblets,
though, Chad.
man. No, I'm living free. Snakes and all.
Good
you know
luck
what?
to
Don't
ya.
tread on me.
Good luck to you.
Speaking of snakes, 5th graders are going to have access to condoms in Chicago elementary schools next month.
That was not the transition I was expecting.
Yeah, they're teaching 5th grade maintain condom availability as part of an expanded vision of sexual health education.
That's lovely.
They said young people have the right to accurate and clear information to make healthy decisions.
Well, you know what? Why stop at 5th grade?
I mean,
why
just,
not kindergarten?
You know what? As soon as those babies come out,
Really?
just wrap them in a condom.
Really?
Yeah.
Why not 2? Why not make sure that their first word is condom?
So we were in Casper, Wyoming last year, and we went to a bar after a show, and it was all of us. The band was there. I went into the bathroom there, and they have this big container with all these condoms in there, right? So as a joke, I brought a couple of them out and gave them to the guys, and I took one of them and I put it over the bottle. It was somewhat reminiscent of your experience with Elijah Schaefer recently on his Slightly Offensive.
I had PTSD thinking
where you
about
had to put a condom on a carrot. Mm-hmm. I came in the following week and found said carrot in said condom on this seat.
Which I did not do, by the way.
Elijah did it. Of course he did it. But the condom was so cheap, it just popped right on the bottle. I'm like, well, see, that's why you don't use government-issued condoms. Have you seen this Condoms and More store that's over here on like Northwest Highway in Dallas? Have you seen that? It's in a department thing.
Yes.
Like, I'm going to have to go in there just to see how many condoms can you sell in a store. I mean, like, this is a whole little store.
Well, I think that's where the more part comes in.
Oh, you think? Yeah.
I think there's some
Is
more.
it Condoms and More, Condoms to go? I think it's Condoms to go, actually.
Well,
because the and more I would get. I think it's condoms to go.
Well, I think
I don't know that you want condoms to stay. Like, you're not going to use them in the store.
Eventually, you do want them to go.
Either name brings an element of confusion to me, right? Yeah, you ultimately, the going is the purpose of the condom.
Yeah, you'd want to avoid a store that says condoms for here only.
Yeah, and hopefully you want condoms and more. Right. You don't want just the condom. That's sort of like wearing a mask in your car by yourself. You know what I'm saying? You get the point of what I'm saying? You guys out there just wearing that mask? I hate you. Anyway, they said, yeah, 5th graders, that's the threshold. It's really not. It's really not. Like, I had little innocent crushes on little girls in my class when I was in the 5th grade. But I didn't know anymore to think anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah.
What is with the hypersexualization of every...
How can they indoctrinate the children if they're not doing this at a young age?
Insane. And then you got these mask holes. 30 teenagers from Boston refused to wear face masks on a plane to the Bahamas on Monday. It forced American Airlines to cancel the flight. They really showed their asses.
No.
They were in Charlotte. They wouldn't wear the mask.
I'm so torn on that. So, I mean, you gotta, if you sign up and you get a plane ticket, you gotta abide by the rules.
You do.
I don't, I've flown a couple times. I wear a mesh mask and I don't have a problem with it. But
I'm missing my best mesh mask.
Are you?
I'm missing my best mesh mask. That's hard to say. You gotta find it.
Well, and it was interesting. There was a gentleman on the aisle over from me that actually had a flight attendant come up to him and say, "Your mask is not like it's too whole. I can see through it. You need to put on another one." But they never said anything to me. I dare you to. I dare you to. No, I'm kidding.
Come on with it.
I mean, if I'm in the plane and they give me a hard time, I'm putting the mask. I mean, you do what you got to do.
I didn't realize they still have
sign up to go.
the Petland pet stores anymore. I didn't know
what
they
happened
stole
there?
at the mall. These two ladies stole a 14-week-old French bulldog named Mario. It's a $10,000 dog.
They shouldn't have the Petland pet
They
stores.
shouldn't. I'm
They're
not for,
awful.
Yeah, the pet.
They treat
the puppy
the
farms.
animals like garbage.
Yeah, they keep them in those little cages and stuff.
Yes.
And,
sitting in their own waste.
I can remember when I was a kid, we'd go to the mall and they had one of those Petlands in there, and you see them. They'd been in there eating their own poop. And stuff like that.
Makes you really want to get the
because you want to see all these cute little puppies, and you go in there and there's a skipper eating shit, and I was like, ugh, he's eating his own poop. The wasn't cute anymore. But these ladies stole the French bulldog.
Wow.
$10,000. Who's getting a $10,000 puppy?
Not me. And French bulldogs are cute, but man, they're loud. They snore and stuff because their nose.
Yeah, you got a lot of sinus issues.
I'm not paying $10,000 to have another snorer in my bedroom.
Well, you hire yourself a partner in crime, and y'all can go steal one from the Petland in Shenandoah.
I don't think
the Woodlands Mall.
I'm not taking it for free either.
Oh my gosh. $10,000 dog. Listen, I spent some money on some stuff that's stupid, but I ain't doing that.
I do want a hairless cat, though. I do.
They feel weird. It reminds me of the stuff that's getting bit by the snakes in the toilet. You know what I'm saying? It's like petting one big scrotum with four legs. It's weird. It's just like somebody stretched a scrotum over a cat. It is the weirdest thing, man.
Now I really want it.
Like you can see the veins in it and stuff.
I just want to dress it up in sweaters.
You're just, they're the ugliest things.
I know.
But have you ever held one?
I've touched one.
It's weird. It's weird.
Well, when I get one, I'll bring it into the studio, and you can pet it in your lap.
Please don't. Yeah. I just wanted them to free Britney, and instead I got Bill Cosby. What the hell's going on with this world?
Don't get me started on that.
I got some things about Britney. Like, Britney should be free. Like, let her go. They're like, oh, it's too dangerous. Let her be free.
I mean, if we did that to all the people who were somewhat crazy in this society, everyone would be in a conservatorship.
Trust me.
Jeez.
Freedom, freedom, freedom.
Yes.
She'll hurt herself. She got the freedom to do it.
You have the freedom to do that.
Knock yourself out,
You have the freedom to blow all your money.
Yeah.
Get scammed, whatever. This is America.
Yeah, she sang a song called Toxic. Of course she is. We'll be right back.
About that author.
American Beauty by Sarah.
It's me.
I want to see you do like a Zoolander commercial, just kind of come out through the smoke, American Beauty by Sarah. Sarah doesn't have an H on it, by the way.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. That's so. I don't think that is going to be the way that my ad is going to go. I'm just going to go ahead and lay that out.
You're so beautiful.
Thank you.
I'm glad we're together now.
I know.
Yeah.
Me too. But really, go sign up for my pre-launch.
American Beauty by Sarah.com. WatchChad.com is where the fun stuff is. Prather2022.com. I'm just waiting for the Blaze execs to be like, stop promoting your.
They don't listen this far in.
Ah, sure they do. Of course they do. And go to BlazeTV.com/Chad. Use promo code Chad. I think you can still get $10 off your annual subscription. That's how confident in that I am. Shop.blazemedia.com. You can get the Chad Prather Show merch. Anyway, I love you guys. Heading into the weekend, it's going to be fun. We're going to be back with you next week. I'm going to be catching some footage from down there in Del Rio, Texas. Going to be down there for 2 days with our buddies right there on the border. And hanging out with some good folks down in that part of the world. The next 3 weeks, I'm going to be down on the border, and then the fourth week, I'm going to be in Mexico.
Jeez.
I'm giving them just the tip these 3 weeks, and then I'm fully penetrating.
I'm going to be at Schlitterbahn next week.
Are you?
Yeah.
Good Lord, you'll see more Mexicans than I will. You'll be at the water park. You're going to have fun. Oh, y'all be safe out there. Take care of each other. Be nice, okay? Try to, at least. We love y'all. God bless you. We'll talk to you next time. Have a good weekend. Bye.